Hello. I am back. That video is just never getting old to me. I probably play it like 72 more times by the end of tomorrow. So I apologize in advance. But sorry, not sorry. I'm super excited to be here with you again today. It's been an amazing experience. And shout out to all of the amazing co-authors that have gone this far. We had Janaea Moore, we had Erica Quinn, we had Danielle Baptiste, we had Sheldine Gordon and Katia Green. You guys were fire and so amazing. And thank you all for your contribution to this amazing project. And if you do not know by now, this is the Evolution Effect virtual book launch, where we have 20 stories of talking about how we overcame adversities, broke patterns, and stepped into our greatness. And I'm super excited about this project because it gave so many amazing individuals an opportunity to share their story and talk about the things that they've experienced and how they overcame and have stepped into their marvelous greatness. And again, as you know, I like to only be surrounded by phenomenal and great people. You know, I'm just saying, and this next person, let me tell you something. I've known her probably not even 6 months. Probably not even that might be too long. And it's so crazy how you can meet individuals and have such an amazing connection as if you have known them your entire life. Like, I feel like I've known her my entire life, the way that she's so supportive, the way that she's like so amazing and phenomenal, and the love and the information and the teaching and all of that and the care that she provides to the people that she really truly sees powerful and greatness in. It's just a beautiful thing. And I'm obsessed with her. And when she told me yes, I was like, oh my gosh, she really said yes. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. So she is the individual that wrote the foreword for this book. And when I read it, I was like, can you rewrite my chapter for me? Because you did this fire. Like, it was so good. And I just appreciate her for saying yes. And I appreciate her for all that she has taught me and the support and the love and all of that good stuff that she has provided to me in such a short period of time. And at the end of the day, who am I? Like, she doesn't know me as someone that she has grown and with and has been in their life for forever. And the amount of support that she provides is just unreal. And so I will forever be grateful to her and for the person that she is and all that she is doing. I'm like, yes, I want that. Yep. Yes, I want that box. Yes, I need to be in that magazine. Yes, I need to be in that course. Yes, I need you to do a strategy session for me. Yes. She is phenomenal. I'm just so excited to introduce Dr. Deena C.
You are such, that's why I love you. And first and foremost, let me say thank you. Let me say thank you that I want to talk about an honor. And that it doesn't matter where we are in our particular journeys, because we're all on the same journey, but we take different paths. And we don't know what the individual might be processing in that moment, in that season that they're in. And I always credit you to making me actually step in to those greater areas of greatness whenever I want to kind of shut down and kind of cocoon and go back in the chrysalis phase. And you'd be like, no, let's go. And I'm sitting there going, I love her so much that, okay, yes. And so I find that, there's always a time where the teacher is always still the student if you truly have a mindset of growth. And so I always will say, I am so impressed in the work that you're doing. I'm so honored that you even invited me and considered me and that you allow me to serve. And more importantly, I feel like you were exactly what I needed at the moment in time in my life. Step into the next best version of me. So with that being said, and we talk about maximum evolution, that's what it's really all about, is that it's always a cycle. And every particular nugget and cog and moment and link in that is important for your growth. And so I want to acknowledge you and share with you that you're an integral part of that, because you are one of the reasons why I said, okay, I'll do a Shift Academy. Because you're like, no, when are you going to do it now? I was like, oh, I'm going to do it. No, you're going to do it now. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm going to do it now. And I was like, okay, I have an entrepreneur incubator that's coming out. Because you're like, okay, no, I need this now. Because I was like, well, who really wants and needs this? You're like, okay, I need this. We need this. Yes, you need to serve. And so at times when we might question our own individual value, it is leaders like you and visionaries like you that actually inspire those of us to truly walk in our calling. So I wanted to say and acknowledge you.
Oh my like killing me today. Like I cannot. Like first of all, like I said, there's so many people that have been in my life for forever and a day, and no shade to anybody. I love all of y'all, but but the level of support and knowledge and care and things that you provide to me that you, like you don't have to do that. Like you know what I'm saying? You can be like, girl, I don't know you bye. Like you know what I'm saying? And so like to be a part of your Tuesdays, you know, that you know, the leadership movement meeting place has been so helpful to me. And honestly, it all started with a podcast interview, right? Like literally. And so I feel like everything happens for a reason. I feel like everything is literally destined and is planned. And who knew that from that podcast interview it would turn into this? So I thank you for reaching out to me and being like, "Girl, can you go?" And I was like, "Yes, absolutely." And it just enveloped. And I'm super excited for everything that you're doing. You already know. I'm like, yes. What is it? What do I say? A box on the spot. Yes. So
I crack up every time. Every time when I feel like stopping and giving up, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just tired. I need to go work on this. I'm like, no, let me go ahead because I do not want to be in somebody in my inbox telling me where's my stuff and you needed to do this. And so I'm 100% real. You know, with that is that geniuses like me, and I do count myself as a genius.
You would do this. Yeah.
It's we get so caught up in our heads sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's so powerful for people like you and visionaries like you who we're called to serve to say, you're not going to go there today. I'm going to step outside and give me what you're supposed to be giving me. And I cherish that. And so this project is just purely fire. The stories were great to read, and there were some true nuggets that resonated throughout that really speaks to what I love to say when we talk about maximum evolution, really evolving to the best version of yourself in your current season. That's the part that I think that I'm really excited to talk about. What is it like to evolve to the best version of yourself in the season that you're in?
Yeah,
it's a cycle, and so it's a never-ending cycle. And so, like I said, I'm excited to be here.
Yes, and you about to listen. You about to take because you already started. I'm like, oh, I'm already tingling on the inside. Like, yes, I'm gonna give you the stage, and you already know the cue when you're ready. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, lovely, beautiful people, Dr. Deena C. Brown. Okay.
I am so excited to be here, to be on this platform. And like you got a chance to see in the introduction, is that I'm really called to serve those who serve. And I am Dr. Deena C. Brown. I am the founder of the Lead Her Shift movement, which actually helps women shift the way they think to elevate the way they lead. And by lead, I mean learn, experience, apply, and develop. And my free Facebook community, the Shift Factor, is there to really support women of color, not only with really defining and really having clarity around their self-image, but also it's all about that self-healing and that self-determination to live life by design and not by default. If that's not maximum evolution, I don't know what is. And so it was truly an honor. And what I can say, if you haven't already ordered your copy, you definitely want to get this. The stories in there, there's a story for every person. Every person. Every person. I don't care what your color looks like, what your gender is, there's a story there for everyone. But like I was sharing with Chanel, and I was so excited to actually read, I said, what I found is that there was a golden nugget. There was a golden nugget that resonated with every single story. And that was, no matter what cards have been dealt to me, no matter what experiences I have had, all of that has been compost for my growth. And by growth, I mean my growth to my next greater. That's powerful. How do you grow to your next greater? Our roads, our pathways may be unique. However, our desire, our end result is the same. We want to, I know I do, I want to live my very best life today. Today. However, we all are called to do something, not just anything. And it's our trials and our tribulations and the stepping stones along the way that actually help to shape us into the person we are called to be, and to give us the tools and the strategies to lead those that we're called to serve. And so I am so excited to kind of talk a little bit about what does that really look like? What does that look like when you are evolving to the next greatest version of yourself? And what I love to speak about and what I love to talk about is really all about what I call the shift factor. Because we have pivots in our lives where we're looking. We might have a methods pivot, a market pivot, an experience pivot, a process pivot. But once you're pivoting and you're looking around, don't forget to shift. And if you're trying to shift to the next greatest version of yourself, which is required if you want to evolve to the next version of yourself, the very first thing is you need to be self-aware. Who are you? Who are you today? Who are you in this season? Who are you in this right now moment? Not 5 years ago, not 10 years ago, because if I gave you my medals, you would see, 4 or 5 years ago, I was a marathon runner and 35 pounds, lighter. That's still fabulous even today. So in that season, when I think about who am I now, I have had some changes. I've had some tribulations. I've had some trials. Instead of letting that define me and place me in a box, what I realized is that all of those experiences were compost for my growth. And I can't love myself and who I am today if I lament everything that made me to get me here. I'm going to say that again because I want you to marinate on this, because some of us, and I know that you might have been through some things that I cannot even understand or comprehend why, because I didn't go through it. So I got that part. But if you truly want to reconcile, to evolve to the version of yourself to live your best life, you have to begin to reframe your experiences. And if I constantly lamented everything that got me here and I'm living my best life, then I will never evolve. I will stay stuck and stunted in a time that doesn't serve me anymore. So with that being said, when I begin to reframe and make a shift and understand who am I today and realize that I'm not the same as I was yesterday, and I'm working and being a better me for tomorrow, but all I can actually process right now is my conscious now, so I'm going to show up as my authentic self. I realize that self-awareness has allowed me to reframe moments, has allowed me to reframe situations, and to, again, evolve to the next best version of myself, one step at a time. So self-awareness is the first pillar of the shift factor. The second pillar is humility. What I realized now, and I say now, it took a while. It took me 48 years to get this fabulous, okay? What I realized is that on the course of the journey and through certain experiences and what I call sometimes that lone lioness syndrome, that's a whole nother show and a whole nother topic, but where I was dreaming too small. And where I'm called to be and where I'm called to serve is way bigger than me. And when I humbled myself to realize that, number one, I didn't have all the answers and it was okay. And number two, I wasn't made to do it all by myself. And that once I became self-aware and I kind of began to understand and remove that identity gap, it allowed me to open the door for opportunities because I humbled myself to realize that I don't have all the answers, but being equipped, as God says, I fully equipped you, means that you know someone that does. You have a person in your circle, in your environment, in your ecosystem who actually can support you getting from where you are to where you want to be. But I had to humble myself to realize that it's okay not to have it all. I wasn't meant to have it all, but by having it all and then by knowing people that can help me get it. And that's a very powerful place to be, because when we think about humility sometimes in context, we think it means that, we're saying that we're less than, or we have to grovel, or that we have to, all the way bow down. Well, I don't know. It depends on, what industry that you're in. But what it has always meant for me is that I have to realize that I need you to survive. And if you're entrepreneurs, you need someone to survive. Why? Because you need to buy your product. You need them to take on your services. You need a vendor. You need so many different people. You're not here to do it by yourself. So once you're self-aware enough to own your I am story, you can be very humble in that space to realize that if my dream only requires me, it's not big enough. It's not big enough. And if you didn't gain certain opportunities and you didn't have certain instances where it was a yes, guess what? That wasn't a no to you. It was a yes to your greater, because you weren't thinking and dreaming big enough. Because when you have a calling and you have an anointing on your life, that it might not be the prettiest picture as you get to that sweet spot, but I guarantee you, if you keep moving forward, you will get there. So with self-awareness and humility, now you can be very intentional. And intentionality is the third pillar of the shift factor. How intentional are you going to be? Because now I know who I am, I know who I need, I know what I don't know, I know where my strengths are, and I know where my opportunities are for growth. And now I can intentionally begin to construct my tribe, my circle, my community, my network that's going to help me move from where I am to where I actually want to be. And also with that intentionality, it helps me understand, what don't I know? What do I need to learn? What do I need to learn? And then again, because I'm so focused in that self-awareness and I'm humble enough to know that, wow, I need some other people to pull in here. Who do I need to tap into to bring onto my team? So self-awareness, humility, intentionality, which brings us to the F, is focus. Now I can become laser focused on what I'm going to. Where am I growing to? And once you are focused on where you're going to, that means that if you are hunting rabbits, you do not get distracted by squirrels. I'm going to say that again. If you are hunting rabbits, you will not get distracted by squirrels and those shiny objects. And what I often say is the Dory complex. Oh, that's over here. Oh, that's over here. Or someone says, hey, I think you should be doing this. Or why don't you jump on this? You can say a gracious no because you're self-aware. You've humbled yourself, so you already have succumbed to and realized the fact that you've surrendered to, you need people, and you've been intentional with aligning yourself with those people. And now you're focused and you're very clear about who they are. So when people bring opportunities and instances, even clients that sometimes don't align to your mission, vision, and values, you know, honey, that's a squirrel and I'm actually hunting rabbits right now because you're focused. And this is all helping you move from where you are to where you want to be, to help you evolve to the next best version of yourself. And now that you're focused, you can stay the course. You can be tenacious. That T is all about tenacity. Hold on. Because it's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be rainbows and unicorns. But because you're self-aware, you've done the reflection, the introspection, you're really clear on that. You know, you built your tribe, you built your ecosystem. You know who you need, and you know what you need, and you know who and who's the opportunity's been created for you to fill that spot. You're very intentional on where you showed up, how you're networking, who you're adding to your team, who you're excluding, who you really can't share your vision with. Why? Because their thinking is too small. You're now very focused on what the next is. What the next, and I say the next for a reason, because here's the big thing. When we have our big mission, vision, and values, we need to know that, okay, that's where I'm going to, but you're going to have to let go of some of that control of defining every single step instead saying, I am open to the opportunity, because you don't know what you don't know. So sometimes when we get in our own way, because we go, I want to do it this way, this way, this way. Well, maybe that is not the right way. So instead, kind of think about your end game and realize that I'm going to get to my end game and I'm going to open myself up because I'm self-aware. I know what I want. I'm very clear about that. I know what I need. I know what my strengths are, what my areas of opportunities for growth are. I'm very intentional about who I've aligned myself to and what I'm looking at. I am focused on that, and I'm tenacious, and I can stay the goal, because it always isn't what it seems when you were looking just with our eyes. Sometimes your deceiving eyes your deceiving eyes will blind you to your intuitive truth. So when you pull all those together, that's what the shift is. The shift factor is putting all of those together and utilizing them on your growth journey as you begin to make decisions. And when I read each and every story in this anthology by this visionary creator, I realized that that's what I got a chance to see. The authors got to a point where they really owned their I am story, and they got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and that they had to have some hard conversations and discussions with themselves first. And they stopped saying that because of this happened to me, because this person said this to me, and that's why I'm here. It was like, no matter that they said this, no matter what the situation looks like, I am going to move forward. I am going to evolve because I'm going to bet on me, even if no one else puts any money in the box. That's what the shift factor is, getting to that state. But here's the secret. Here's the spoiler alert. It is a constant process. It's a constant process. So when you think of maximum evolution, like, oh, it just happened once. No, it happens over and over and over again as you reach the next level and height of who you're called to be. So you have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You have to stay focused. You have to stay intentional. You have to stay humble. You have to stay self-aware. And most importantly, you have to stay tenacious and realize that if you want to live your very best life today, okay, what you're going to have to do is own your I am story. And so it was such an honor. And I was so proud to write the foreword. If you want to know what the foreword says and the teaching tips in there, you're going to have to buy the book. So it was an honor. It was a pleasure. And I just so love just being here today to share a little bit with you. And I would love for you to stay connected with me and following me on my own journey as I evolve on this path to the next greatest version of myself. And as I'm really getting my Instagram life on, you can follow me at Dr. Deena Speaks, which is on the screen, DrDeena Speaks. And more importantly, you need to know that everything that you are, everything that you need, everything that you want is all in your control. And so when you own your I am story and you own your truth and you have the difficult conversations with yourself about yourself first, then you can walk into any room and own it. You can walk into any situation and reframe it. And you can maximally evolve to the next greatest version of yourself. So I just want to say thank you for listening. I want to say thank you for being here. I'm saying thank you for allowing me to share just a little bit about what I think and what I know and how I'm called to serve. You're on mute.
I just came on cheese and like, oh my gosh. Do you see why I am obsessed? Like, do you hear? Like, when I tell you, I say it all the time, she snatches my edges real quick. Like, no, you're not doing that. Like, no, why would you do that?
Why are you telling all the secrets? Yeah, I was talking to another one of my clients. Personal clients, I only take by referral because your life becomes my life. And my situation, your situation is my situation. I get all of in your business. Green, because again, you win, I win, we win together. And so I always, say that I'm always watching, I'm always looking. And I love the fact you respond because I'll be in your inbox in a minute. Excuse me. No, you're not doing that. Can you? No, there's a problem here. And you'd be like, and then
like, why did you post that? No, just do your own graphic. Don't even use this.
Don't do that. And I love that. And that is a big part of my passion, which is why Accelerate Her, my entrepreneurial incubator, will be kicking off soon to really begin to, give the strategy. I realize that It is, but in all truth, when we talk about evolving to the next greatest version of ourselves, it had nothing to do with I thought that I couldn't do it, I failed, because I do it already with my 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurial clients. It was that
you heard that right. She tried to be cute and thought of that with my 6.
I just gotta say, and I got testimonials and receipts to prove that. But I realized that because of things that happen, and when we decide to step into that space, the amount of effort and energy is going to take that sometimes we still hide. And so that's why I keep saying that, being around doesn't allow me to hide, because I love you enough to want you to win.
Yeah.
And every time I'm like, okay, no, you're going to have to go. No, you're going to have to go do something, because I've had 3 clients in the last week saying, we need this, we need you. So when I was scaling back and saying, okay, I'm done here, they were like, no, you can't. And so I thought, what's going to make it work for me? And so that's why I give credit where credit is due, that you inspire me to evolve to the best version of myself all the time.
Okay, let's get into this comments real quick. Miss Mercy. Hi, Mercy. Oh, look at me.
Hi, Mercy.
Look, I will never. Our podcast interview was crazy, like crazy in a good way. Like I was just like, what? Really? Like it was. Oh my gosh! Yes, that was like.
I might have to. I'm gonna replay. I'm gonna repost that. It was good too. I need to put that back.
Yes, I own my story. This is so cute. Yes. Evolving is everything. Juliet said, "Hello, everyone. Hello, Juliet. How you doing?" Mercy said, "Cheesy." Yes, I know. I didn't. I cannot. But like a lot of things that you said. Hey, Katia, how you doing, girl? She was amazing. Earlier today, phenomenal job at work. But popping in said hello.
Hey.
And Mercy said, LOL. Like, listen, Mercy, you already know I'm like obsessed. Like I was just like, what? Oh my gosh. But you said so many amazing nuggets, and that's why I was like, you gotta have your own segment, because you like the knowledge that you drop, the tips that you share, and just who you are as an individual. I just wanted to share you with the world. So what you said in regards to staying ready so you ain't got to get ready, that's 100% true. And also in regards to, as I said, you just the person that you are, and us not even like knowing each other that long, and the impact that you've had on my life in such a short period of time. As you said, I've inspired you, like you inspire me in everything that you do. It makes me want to be greater, and it also makes me look at things in the grander scheme. Like you said, if you can do it by yourself, then the dream is not big enough. So you've just given me like a whole nother, you know what I mean, path and ideas, and just like, I'll just say one word and she'll be like, well, girl, you can do this. I'm like, hold on. It is so amazing, honestly. And I'm grateful for who you are as an individual, honestly, and what you do, because it allows so many others to step into their greatness and literally follow the lead of what this book is all about. And it takes individuals like yourself that aren't, because you can easily be like, no, I don't have what? I don't know you. Like I said.
Okay, I gotta tell on you a little bit, because you're like, no, you're busy. I said, oh, we don't use that word.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
we don't use that word. I said, because busy allows people to have a scapegoat.
Yes.
And it allows people not to step into, and so allows fear to rule that day.
Yes.
I said, I don't use the word busy. You either ask or you don't.
Yes.
You make time or you don't. So I do not define and self-select for other people. But what I realized, and what one of my coaches said, when we say that to ourselves, what we're doing is we're giving ourselves an excuse.
Yeah.
So do not say that. Well, I know you're busy, but then why are you calling me? Because you don't call me that. If you really know I'm that busy, then why are you calling me? So you want something, you ask for it, but don't give yourself, a psychological break so that I couldn't do it because they busy. No, go in with an expectation of a yes.
Yes.
And if it's not, then okay, well, then I'm gonna go to the next one. It doesn't mean that someone doesn't care. And so that was one of the things I'm like, stop. Don't. I'm not even gonna listen to that. What do you want? Okay, yes. What do you want? When do you need it? Okay. No, we're not gonna do that.
Right.
So I'm gonna say no.
Right.
And so I love that. And you'd be like, okay.
No, like honestly, when you said that, it shifted my mind, because a lot people do that to me all the time too. Like, oh, well, I didn't invite you because I thought you were going to be too busy, or you know what I'm saying? And then I look at certain people in the same way, like they are like busy, or they have a lot on their plate. And so now in us having that conversation, one, again, told you snatching my edges, and two, it made me shift my mindset to say, just ask, because you never know. Like if I didn't act, like if I would have just stuck with, oh, she doesn't have time for that, you wouldn't have been the forward on this book. If I didn't just ask you and say, hey, would you be interested in this opportunity? You know what I'm saying? Like I would have discounted and removed the opportunity for your growth, for your exposure, for whatever it is, and for the same for me. And so it definitely shifted my mind to just ask, because you never know that the no that you might think you get will be the yes, and the yes to the best opportunity you ever had. So I told you, listen, she gets me together, chat. And again, I still can't get over the fact of how it's been such a short period of time, because like I said, I've known so many people for years and years and years and years and years. And the people that I've met in less than 6 months have impacted me in ways that no shade. I promise, no shade. I heart everybody, but just like has really truly been supportive. And I've looked for that, and I've always said I wanted that, even in corporate.
Here's the thing that you just said, which I was waiting for you to say.
Oh gosh, what did I say, Lord?
Here's the thing: is you evolved, so the opportunity presented itself for you to make those soul ties.
Yes.
That you had yourself in an enclosed box.
Yes.
And so you couldn't have been there.
Yes.
You couldn't see them anyway.
Yes.
So I looked and I finally opened up and said, here's what I need. I'm very clear. I'm aware about what I need in my next phase. And as soon as you did that, the opportunity and all of you brought that to you. So everything destroyed, it just transfers. And so you opened the door. It was you evolving that said, okay, I'm ready now. Let me bet on me. Let me, take this risk. And when you did that, you opened the door for opportunity.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You're gonna be chills, because you are like spot on. Look, this is what happens behind the scenes. I'm just letting you know. Like, it is so true. It is 100% true. And because again, for a number of years, I just felt like I wanted a circle, like a real circle of women that really truly want to see you win, because so often, you get around people and they seem like they're excited for you and they seem like they want you to win, but low key they are salty and envious. And so I was very what's the word I'm looking for? I was very biased in that way. So my trust factor wasn't there at all, because of what I've experienced for so many years. And so now in the past couple of months, like Lindsay, another person, like what? Like of all the people, like I've known her from May, June, if that. And of all the people, you know what I mean, that she could have contacted, all like, hi, like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just a beautiful thing. And it shifts my mind to say there are amazing people in this world, and you just have to find them and give them an opportunity and give them a chance to love on you. And that's another piece of it too. Is like, because you go through so many things, you block blessings, you block relationships, you block it all out.
Don't discount what I call that compost. Compost is another name for fertilizer. You know what fertilizer often is, right? Okay. So you know what fertilizer really is, and it's those things where you grow the most. Part of the core of your evolution. There's something that I read and I saw, and I thought it was so powerful. I probably will turn it into some kind of teaching talk or story yet, but I'm still processing. And so imagine an egg, okay? If the egg breaks on the outside, it's death. If the egg breaks from the inside out, there's life. Actually came out.
Right.
So when you think about yourself in your growth journey, when you grow and you break, you go through that from the inside out, there's a beautiful growth and there's life in that. There's understanding, you're able to use the nutrients that was inside. But it's from when you're dealing with people on the outside that you tend to break. So stop thinking about what other people are doing or saying or their impact for you. Instead, focus on growing that inner you.
Yes.
Journey. And when you do that and you focus on that, you realize that there's always I did a teaching this morning. You have a choice no matter what.
Amen.
No matter what. People say, what, they had a gun to your head, you still got a choice. You can still choose.
Yeah.
And so when you realize you have 100% dominion over what happens to you.
Amen.
When you own that, I'm telling you, like you be like, hey. And that's different because you no longer say they made me.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that, okay, what am I supposed to get from this? There's some part of this, and there's something that either AI triggered or I got to go take a look at myself first.
Yes.
And then you need to make a decision accordingly because I ain't saying they ain't shady people out there. They shady as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are.
That is shade.
Why you still been hiding underneath that tree? Because there was something that was feeding you by you being able to hide underneath that tree. Because then you had somebody to blame. Step out from underneath the shade and see what happened.
Yeah.
A whole other talk. I'm gonna stop.
Listen, you are speaking 100% facts, honestly. And just like literally that is the 100% truth. Because oftentimes when you experience things, you take it on and you do the blame and the pointing of the finger. But then when you take ownership and you say, like you said, I look at problems in a different way. Instead of being like, oh, why is this happening to me? Woe is me. I look at it like, okay, what is it teaching me? What is the opportunity for me to grow, to evolve, to change? Or how is it preparing me for my next chapter? So literally everything that I've gone through in the past 10 years in corporate has literally allowed me to manage my entire business. You see what I'm saying? But when I left, I was like
a super boss.
I'm just saying, let's get to these comments really, really quickly. Mercy said you were too funny. Love you, Chanel. Oh, thank you. Udabons.com too, girl. And Juliet said, do not say you're busy. Listen, absolutely true. And Mercy said, so true. Tell it. And Juliet said, wow, I learned something new. And she said, true. Listen, we only talk about facts over here, okay? We only want to help everybody to learn, grow, and get to where it is that they want to be in life. Because so often, we sometimes hold ourselves back or our environment or whatever it is. So if we can help individuals to understand their greatness and to step into it, then hey, that's why we are here. So I'm super excited. Any final words you want to share with the audience?
I think I said a lot. I did say a lot, and I really just I encourage every single person to really get clear about their own I am journey. Mm-hmm. What is your I am journey? And once you know the power of your I am and everything that follows it, I promise you, your life will have clarity. You will be confident and you will be consistent in the way that you show up and live by design, not by default.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Everybody's been giving quotes all day. Like, live by design, not by default. Like, yeah. Oh my goodness. Like, we need to get some t-shirts, man. I think we have Evolution Effect t-shirts. I'm just saying. But that's amazing. And again, I thank you. I honestly thank you for your yes and snatching my edges and not saying, I know you're busy. And I appreciate that because again, it helped me to shift my mindset and how I handle things and how I ask, you know what I mean, versus assume. So I appreciate you and everything that you've taught me. And even like the Shift Academy, like the Future Cast, like, oh my gosh, it's just amazing. And I appreciate everything that you do and the person that you are. And again, especially for your yes and adding such value to this book project. Because again, you could have been like, girl, not today. So I appreciate you for taking the time and putting in the effort and truly adding such value to this project. And also for even being here and on this platform and part of this virtual live. I really, really appreciate you. And I can't wait for what's next because, my box in the spot. You should.
Can y'all think I'm playing like I'm not even playing like I got you don't see the magnets. We got the magnets. It's really turning into something even bigger than me and I'm doing it like not afraid that I don't know the structures and the back end behind it, but for me to do it for me because for so long I've built it for everybody else. Like I built systems and programs and a lot of things for other people because I didn't necessarily want to. And God said, this is your season of midwifery. I need you to step from behind and help others begin to deliver what I've planted inside of them. And so it's time for you entrepreneurs to birth some babies. And I'm going to be here to help you birth those dreams.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I'm having sextuplets, if that's And tell the audience how I can connect with you one more time.
Absolutely. You definitely can connect with me on Instagram at Dr. Deena Speaks, DrDeena Speaks. And if you are a woman, and all women are invited, but particularly women of color, I invite you to join the Shift Factor. And Tuesday night, that is tomorrow, we have our bi-monthly meetup. And if you register by the end of tonight, you will be entered in a drawing to win official leadership movement merchandise and some self-care packages. We're going to be celebrating and talking about you and really getting and honing what it means to have a positive self-image, to really know what it's like and get some tools to do that inner self-healing and really set structure and strategies in place to determine, what we want to do to get us from where we are to where we want to be. So definitely would love to have you join me in the Shift Factor community, which Chanel's been talking a lot about, because I'm actually going to be doing more lives and live teaching there.
Yay.
Yeah. And but definitely to follow me on Instagram as well. Oh, duh. Y'all, how y'all gonna let me forget my podcast, Walking Through Glass, which we've talked about, because I've been in hiatus and I'm getting ready to launch season 3. So I've been moving so many times, but Walking Through Glass, the podcast, is available on iHeart, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Music Play, Amazon, anywhere that you love to listen to podcasts. So we'd love to have you listen to that as well.
And that's where we met. Oh my gosh, Tia. Oh my gosh, that interview was so fire. Oh my gosh. And from that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck to you like glue. Like, cause you, oh my goodness, that interview was so amazing. So I love your podcast.
I think I'm gonna post it again and restream it, because they were actually both interview, all the ones I've done with you. So I think this week, in honor of kind of what we do in this Maximum Evolution, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that I do a reposting and reshare and send it out to everybody again, because that is what.
No, oh my gosh. And it was so good. It was so good. But again, I thank you so much, and for all that you do and continue to do, because as you show up, it makes me show up even more. So I appreciate you, and you already know. So say bye to the beautiful people, but don't go.
All right,
bye, beautiful people. All right, get it. Hold on. Before we do this, say hello. Hey, Mercy. She said,
hi,
awesome. Mercy. Yes, repost it. Yes. The interview was so fire. Oh my gosh, it's where it all began, honey. Where it all began. Now let's get into this video trailer one more time for the beautiful people. I love that trailer. Oh my gosh. Like, Warriors Paradigm was a fire trailer, like fire. This is a strong second. I love that trailer. But anyway, I appreciate all of you for tuning in and engaging and being a part of this amazing virtual book launch. If you have not seen the previous lives, it's on my page. You can check those out. We will be back at 7 p.m. with some new co-authors, and I'm super excited to be on this platform. So we will see you then. And if you want to connect with me, you can find me at Chanel Spencer Now on Instagram and Facebook, as well as www.readytotransformnow.com. If you notice, I have now after everything, because it's all about now action, not later action. So go do it now. You can do it now. You could go follow me on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? You could do all of that. Check out our website. And if you want a copy of the book, go to www.evolutioneffectbook.com so you can get your book, and so you can see the lovely information that Dr. Deena C. Brown blessed us with. And she is phenomenal, as you already know. You already know I'm like obsessed, so I heart her and everything that she does. And I'm sorry, but you're stuck with me. Bye, beautiful people. Thank you, Leslie.